easy go.
Okay then guys, what we have here is the Evolution Aqua bracket. This is the hanging bracket for the LED lights. I've had to purchase an additional wire hanging section just for my LED lights, but this is the basic sort of bracket. What we've got here, if we go in, is we have the two main upright supports, and this is what's going to get connected onto the back of the tank or the cabinet. Very good quality, very heavy, you can hear by it hitting the glass. And these are obviously adjustable, so these can obviously spread out according to where you need it on the back of your cabinet. Moving on over to the arm that will go all the way across the top of the tank. This one is a 1200 mil, so this is for my 4-foot tank, and again these two here will come along. One will be down this end, one will be up the other end, and that will be the part for the suspension for the light. And finally what we have here is the actual arm, and this section here is what's going to attach onto the back of the actual uprights. And we've got a couple of little Allen key thread screws there, so these arms will actually go into, see, that hole there, and then the threads will hold it in place. We've got a couple of additional Allen keys, and you know, the little spanner thing there as well. This part at the top here, this will obviously spin round, so you can actually fit this unit onto a corner tank as much as you can onto a rectangular tank by having the uprights either at the back of the cabinet, which is what I'm going to do, or if your cabinet is already hard up against the wall, what you can then do is put the uprights onto either end of your cabinet, and therefore this would then be turned accordingly to then actually put the main arm across the top. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put it all together and actually fit it onto the tank itself, and then we'll see where we are at the end of that. Right, well, we're in the sump now, and as you can see there at the very back of the cabinet is one of the bolts that's coming through just above the height obviously of the sump, which saved me having to remove the sump, which is one thing that I really didn't want to have to do. So that's great that it's there. And then the one above it, again, hopefully that about the light coming under that wire, then you can see that one there as well. Now the other side was a little bit more tricky due to the fact that the Red Sea Reefer, this 425 XL, does not have a back on the right hand side. Now if I just show you what I mean by that, and we'll go round into this section, which is where I've now got the RO container, doser, a few other bits and pieces. But as you can see there, potentially through the glass, I'll come up to the top, there is no back. I mean, that's like the radiator in the back of the room. So what I had to do was go out and buy this bracket, straight bracket that goes all the way down. Had to cut it to the right length all the way down to the bottom there. Now there is a small little back which I was able to bolt that onto, so that secured it down at the bottom. Up at the top of the tank it's actually secured with the bolt anyway that comes through for the light bracket, and then sort of halfway down, see if I can find it, there we go, just in front of those sort of mess of wires, that's where I had to bolt the other one to. So as you can see, clearly would not have been able to do that at all without that bracket. So that was my fix, and that will enable me to then get the light hung and suspended obviously above the tank. So I'll have a quick look at what that looks like. And there we go. So we've got the left hand side one coming up from the back of the tank, moving it across, to the right hand side, and then of course the actual suspension arm itself that goes all the way across the top with the wiring that's holding the light onto that arm. That had to actually be purchased separately, that wiring system. But obviously again, it all depends on what sort of lights you got. You might be able to come straight off of the bar with or without some sort of wiring system. But the overall bracket, EA bracket for my light, as you can see there. So pleased with that. Turned out really good, really nice, very solid. And I think my light's about 8 inches off the top of the water surface. Okay, so that concludes another video. So again, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks very much. Stay safe. Bye bye.
Easy come, easy go.